What up, YouTube? T-Movies here. Now, in this video, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite movies of the year 1990. Now, these movies are literally churning dirty this year. I mean, it is insane how many films have, interesting birthdays this whole year. And the movies I'm about to talk about all literally turns dirty this whole year. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite movies of the year 1990, which ended up being the star of the 90s. So, yeah, with that being said, here's my list. Alright, coming in at number 10, I'm going to go film Mermaids. Now, Mermaids stars Winona Ryder, who plays this 15-year-old named Charlotte Flex, who has a wacky mother played by Cher, and they end up moving to their, Cher's character ends up moving their family to a different town and all. And she ends up, Cher's character also ends up having a fling with this shopkeeper played wonderfully by Bob Hoskins. You've got Christina Ricci, who plays Charlotte's younger sister, and not to mention Charlotte ends up having a fling of her own. She ends up falling for this fellow high school student. I mean, Mermaids is pretty decent. It's a film about family. Cher was amazing. Winona Ryder at the height of her career was pretty good in this. It was also Christina Ricci's first feature film, so there's that too. It's such a really amazing film. I mean, it's very relatable because we all have families similar to this. And yeah, it's a really good one. Definitely go check out Mermaids if you guys haven't seen it. Alright, coming in at number 9, I'm going to go with Kindergarten Cop. Now, the 1990s I actually got a couple of comedies in this list, by the way. One of the best of that year is Kindergarten Cop, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger who ends up playing this Broadway cop named John Kimball, who ends up hosing a kindergarten teacher in order to apprehend this major drug lord cuffman named Colin Chris, played by Richard Tyson. And you also got Carol Baker, who actually plays Colin's. She plays Colin's mother. You've got Penelope Miller, who plays the teacher in this. You've got Linda Hunt, who plays the principal. Kindergarten Cop is one of those funniest comedies of that year. Shows that Arnold Schwarzenegger can do more than just straight up action movies. I mean, Arnold was awesome in this. This has some really funny, iconic lines. I mean, whether you talk about it's not a tumor, or boys have and girls have. I'm not going to go into any details, but if you guys see Kindergarten Cop, you remember that line. And there's some other really great lines. Linda Hunt stole lots of things as a principal. I mean, if you guys never really seen Kindergarten Cop by now, go check it out. I mean, Arnold as a kindergarten teacher, what more can you ask for? Alright, coming in at number 8, it is Problem Child. Now, Problem Child is seriously also one of the funniest films of that year. It is insane to believe that this movie has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, this is actually my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies on Rotten Tomatoes that has a 0%. Once again, proves that just because the film has a 0% doesn't always mean it's bad and all. To me, Problem Child is it's a childhood favorite. I actually remember watching this as a. Granted, I was born 2 years after this movie got released. But man, I remember watching Problem Child a couple times on TV, really laughing out loud. And I still rewatch it because they replayed it on, I think it was on Star's Encore. The movie still holds up. I mean, I don't know if the jokes will really work today, or anything. But Problem Child, starring John Ritter as a guy who him and his wife, played by Amy Asbeck, wants to adopt a kid. So they adopt this kid named Junior, who ends up becoming, a problem child. And you got Michael Rich as, Uncle Marty. Not to mention, you got the always great Gilbert Gottfried as Mr. Peabody. This has some. Now, I also probably prefer Problem Child 2. The first Problem Child, directed by Dennis Dugan, who also gave us stuff like, of course, Dennis Dugan went on to direct films went on to direct Adam Sandler movies like Grown Ups, Jack and Jill, Big Daddy, and all. But before that, he did Problem Child, and to me, Problem Child is a family fun entertainment film. And I mean, this is a movie. This is a reason why lots of people really are keys on adoption because yeah, you could actually have a real life Problem Child, and yeah. But if you guys haven't really seen Problem Child yet, definitely go check it out. I mean, come on, Junior, if you want to look at it, is the son of the devil. So, all right, coming in at number 7, I'm gonna go with Child's Play 2. Now, I love the first Child's Play, but to me, Child's Play 2 is probably even better. I literally call Child's Play 2 the Empire Strikes Back of Chucky movies. I just love Child's Play 2. You know, this of course takes place like ends up taking place like a couple years after the events of the first Child's Play, and you've got Chucky, who was known as Charles Lee Ray, who ends up getting his revenge back at Andy, and now Andy's at this foster care systems because they believe that his mother is in the loony bin, and so Chucky ends up going there to get his revenge. And I don't care what anyone says. Problem Child 2. Problem Child. Sorry, I got Problem Child in my head. Child's Play 2 is better than the original. It's, you got Kyle, played by Christina Ellis, is really amazing on this. It has some, probably some better kills than the first Chucky that Child's Play did. I mean, come on, the teacher scene is... The scene where Chucky ends up, killing the teacher is probably one of my favorite kills throughout the whole movie. I mean, who just doesn't love Child's Play 2? It's just fun, creepy. Once again, Chucky is really mentally insane. As Vincent as Andy was pretty great. Of course, one of the best final acts in a horror film is the toy. Is when they're in the toy scene. I mean, the toy maker scene. Yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Child's Play 2, to me is the best out of the franchise. Coming in at number 6, I'm going to go with Ghost. Ghost, starring the sensual Patrick Swayze. One of the pottery scene. That's pretty iconic. Now, Ghost stars Patrick Swayze. He plays this who ends up dying one day, and then he ends up coming back as a ghost, and wants to try to have a way to rekindle his romance with his wife, played by Demi Moore. You've got Whoopi Goldberg as like the psychic, and Whoopi Goldberg ended up winning her Oscar for this, and a well-deserving Oscar win. Also stars Tony Goldwyn. Ghost is one of the most iconic romance movies of all time. It's just really iconic. Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore both had amazing on-set chemistry. They really play off each other well. The pottery scene is like one of the most iconic moments in movie history. Like, that pottery scene has been played out too many times. Come on, that song, that song with the Ghost was featured in the trailer for or not. So that song became famous from Ghost. I mean, if you guys haven't really seen Ghost, it's such a really iconic flick.
Sorry, I thought you would usually like have your comments that you have to.
Alright. Okay. Coming in at number 5, I'm going to add Edward Scissorhands. Another film starring Winona Ryder, by the way. So I pretty much got like 2 Ryder movies on this list. And this is directed by Tim Burton. This was really the movie, I guess you could say, that really put Johnny Depp on the map. Like, he's done stuff before Edward Scissorhands. I mean, 21 Jump Street, Cry Baby, Nightmare on Elm Street, and all. But it was really Edward Scissorhands that really put Depp on the map for loads of people. It was one of the best collaboration between him and Tim Burton. Tim Burton is one of the most weirdest, literally one of the weirdest directors there is. And, I mean, it's insane that you believe that this movie came out the same year as Mermaids. I mean, Winona Ryder had an interesting 1990 year. Of course, you had, not to mention, you had Diane Weiss as the mother in this. Alan Arkin played the father. You also had Kathy Baker was in this. I mean, Edward Scissorhands is amazing. It's very creepy, very, guy who has, like, scissors for hands, that's pretty much one of the most weirdest things you ever see in movie history. But it still works so well. I mean, if you guys haven't really seen Edward Scissorhands by now, it's one of the best. Probably one of Johnny Depp's best roles as well. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to go with Pretty Woman. Now, Pretty Woman, of course, stars Richard Gere as this rich businessman who ends up falling for this prostitute played by Julia Roberts, and it's probably one of the interesting love stories of all time. I mean, a film about a guy falling for a prostitute, that's kind of interesting right there. Of course, has the iconic song "A Pretty Woman." It's directed by the always great Gary Marshall. I mean, Pretty Woman is really one of the best romantic comedies there is. Great chemistry between Gere and Roberts. You also had Jason Alexander, Hector Elizondo is in this. I mean, Pretty Woman, who does not love Pretty Woman? It's amazing. So definitely go check out Pretty Woman if you guys haven't seen that.
Tim Burton is shit.
Damn right. Anyway. Alright, coming in at number 3, I'm going to go with Misery. Now, Misery, it stars Kathy Bates, and, Kathy Bates done stuff before Misery, but this was a movie that really put Bates on the map. And Misery is based on a book by Stephen King, directed by Rob Reiner. I mean, Misery has some really iconic, moments in this. I mean, the scene where Annie Wilkes ends up beating poor James Caan's leg. I mean, that scene, I admit, even till this day, that scene still freaks me out. Till this day, that scene still freaks me out. But on that side, Misery is one of the best Stephen King adaptations. It won Kathy Bates her first ever Oscar, well-deserved Oscar win. James Caan was great. You had who's the dude who plays the sheriff? Oh yeah, Richard Farnsworth was in this. Really great cast. I mean, and of course, we just had like a Misery thing with season 2 of Castle Rock. Well, not as good as Kathy Bates. Lizzie Kaplan was still pretty good on Castle Rock. So, all right, coming in at number 2, it is Home Alone. One of the arguably one of the best Christmas classics there is. Home Alone is, who just doesn't love Home Alone? It's just incredible. Macaulay Culkin taking down these burglars is just iconic to watch. You had Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Catherine O'Hara was also in this. Directed by Chris Columbus. I mean, this movie made Kevin McAllister a real psychopath, but of course he was trying to protect his home, so there's that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, even when it's Christmas, I literally still put this on, because Home Alone is just, it's iconic, one of the best there is. 1999 was an interesting year for Joe Pesci too, so yeah, but Home Alone to me is the best movie in 1999, and Part 2 came out 2 years later, so kind of somehow in 1992 we had both Prom Child 2 and Home Alone 2. Like, 1992 felt like 1990. Anyway. Alright, the best movie of 1990 also stars Joe Pesci, by the way. And number 1 goes to Goodfellas. Arguably one... Sorry, Godfather, but Goodfellas is one of the best gangster movies of all time. It of course stars, the always great Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito. You had Ray Liotta as Henry Hill, one of Scorsese's best work. This movie is just iconic. The movie show won a picture, but for some reason the Oscars thought Dances with Wolves was better, but whatever. But at least Joe Pesci still won his Oscar for this, so that's cool. But yeah, Goodfellas is, to me, it's the best movie of that year. It's just one of the best gangster films. I mean, who just doesn't love Goodfellas? So, alright, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Mermaids. 9. Kindergarten Cop. 8. Prom Child. 7. Child's Play 2. 6. Ghost. 5. Edward Scissorhands. 4. Pretty Woman. 3. Misery. 2. Home Alone. And 1 is Goodfellas. Now, there's also some other ones I probably could have added. Let's see. Flatliners. Tremors. The aforementioned Dancer with Wolves. Never really liked that film, to be honest. Yeah. I still think Goodfellas should have won, but whatever. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got released that year. Miller's Crossing. I mean, the list goes on and on. I could have done top 20 instead. The Justice movie got released that year. The Witches. Anyway. Let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite movies of the year 1990? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movie signing off.